Hi dear friends and subscribers, thank you for following my channel and watching my videos. Please, like and we begin. Gal Gadot is already ahead of the curve when it comes to playing Wonder Woman. While Batman v Superman received a critical drubbing, Gadot's performance as the Amazonian superhero was warmly greeted by the fans who felt that she perfectly embodied the character they had been waiting to see on the big screen for the decades. While her presence in Batman v Superman was a mere snapshot of the character, she carried the role well and left fans wanting to see more. In February 2016, some fellow journalists and I went to London to visit the set of Wonder Woman, and during our time there, we got to speak with Gadot, who had just been running on a treadmill in front of a green screen deflecting bullets with her magical bracelets. During our interview, Wonder Woman poster Gal Gadot: "So, what is the best thing about getting to play Wonder Woman?" Gal Gadot: "Not that. Laughter the best part? Somehow I think that I always wished to play Wonder Woman, without even knowing it myself. 8 years ago, when I just became an actress, I used to travel to Los Angeles and take general meetings with different producers, writers, directors, and they kept on asking me the same question over and over again: what's your dream role? And I kept on saying, I'm open to all genres as long as the story is interesting enough, but if you're really asking what would I like to do, is to show the stronger side of women, because I feel that there's not enough stories being told about strong women, and independent women, and little did I know that 5 years later, I'd land the part. What's the most challenging thing? And feel free to say running on a treadmill forever." Gadot: "We were just talking about it this morning, because we're going through some very, very intensive weeks. Patty was just saying, they're really testing to see if you're the true, real Wonder Woman, because they decided to shoot the movie in London, which is fantastic, in the winter, which is less amazing, while we shoot outside, nights, days, 2 weeks of night coming up, wearing a very short piece of rubber, running, jumping, needing to fight, with all that. So, the physicality of it is really challenging, but I like it. I enjoy it. It makes me happy after I do it right, but I really love Diana. I love everything about her. I love the story. She has a heart of a human being, powers of goddess and a very wise brain. So, she's everything. I love her." Who's your favorite character other than yourself? Who's your favorite character so far? Gadot: "The main one is Steve, and I really enjoy working with Chris. He's a great partner, funny, we have lots of laughs on set, and I think that his character, in comparison to Diana's character, they're very much yin and yang. He's this realistic guy, who's been through a lot, and he knows what mankind is capable of doing, and Diana is this young idealist, who thinks that the world is very white, very pure, mankind are only good, and there's something in there, once they get to know each other, he teaches her so much about reality and mankind, and she brings back hope to his life." Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman. Image via Warner Brothers. Kind of branching off that question, this film is set about 100 years before the events of Batman v Superman, so how did you kind of change your approach to the character? Gadot: "Well, the character is different. The character that we shot, that I played in BVS was more realistic and more mature and more of a woman, mature woman. In this one, this is the coming of age of Diana. This is her story of, she starts as a very naive girl, naive, positive, happy, seeking for good girl, but in BVS, she's been through a lot. She already understood the complexity of human beings, and she's just more mature in BVS. Building off of that, we heard in the most recent trailer, your voice. In Batman v Superman, you kind of have. Gadot: "What do you think of my voice? Too low? Sort of an American, British accent? Gadot: "You expect it more like. Makes high-pitched sound. But the accent was what I thought was interesting, so I'm curious, does she have that accent when she's on Themyscira, or is that something that develops over her course of being with humanity? Gadot, her accent in this one, in Wonder Woman is more Themyscirian. She still has some of the Themyscirian accent on BVS, but she knows hundreds of languages, starting in Themyscira, well educated to speak every language that we can think of, and in this one, she has a heavier accent, Themyscirian accent, than on BVS. It's lighter, but it's still there. She's still foreign, she's still from a different place. Wonder Woman movie cast Gal Gadot. Image via Warner Brothers. Can you talk about Diana's relationship with her mom? Gadot, yeah, interesting question. So, as you know, Connie Nielsen plays my mother. She's fantastic, and I really enjoy working with her. Diana is a very opinionated girl. She was the only child raised on this island, so she's the special kid, and she was nurtured by her mother and by her aunts and all of the women in Themyscira. So, she's very, very opinionated. Her mother is very opinionated. Her mother is very protective as well, and they have, the very natural clash that a mother has with her daughter, with their daughters, the first time they want to leave home. So, it's a very emotional moment, very intensive moment, but it's what I love about Diana is that in so many different points in this story, she has conflicts that every human being has, it's easy to relate to her. She's very accessible. That's it. Other than her physical strength, what do you think makes her such a feministic hero? Gadot, other than her powers? Yeah, because obviously we know she's so strong both physically and. Gadot, first of all, she doesn't see that difference between any gender difference. It's not even an issue, She comes from this world where men and women are equal, and it's not a thing to be a man or to be a woman. She feels that she can do everything and she will go for it. She's a peace seeker, she wouldn't go and look to start a battle or a fight. She would try to solve it in any other different way, but I think that's what's beautiful about Wonder Woman, is that it's funny, because I just had the conversation with my daughter 2 nights ago. I put her to bed and I was reading her a story and it was about princesses and Ariel the mermaid, whatever, and then she was talking about the prince, the guy, she called him the prince, and she said, yeah, and the prince, they're usually very strong. And I asked her, and what about the princesses? They're weak. And how do you think they should be, Alma? My daughter's name is Alma. She said, they should be strong. They should be strong, and I feel very proud that finally this movie is being made, because all of you guys, all men and all boys, always had a figure to look up to, whether it's Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, or whatever it is, they always had heroes to look up to, and for girls, it's always the princesses are being saved or being passive, and finally Wonder Woman, she's fearless, she's proactive, she believes in herself. She believes she can do everything, and that's a true woman for me.